Hey guys, how you doing? In this video I'm going to be doing an overnighter on Dartmoor National Park. Starting at Postbridge, I parked at the visitor centre and I'm going to walk through Bellever Forest, up onto Bellever Tor and over onto Riddon Ridge where I'm going to spend the night, and then tomorrow I'll be walking back to the car. So it's not a massive one, not particularly far, but really beautiful day and yeah, absolutely stunning views, so I hope you enjoy. As soon as you leave Postbridge, the landscape changes completely. You go from open village and river valley straight into Bellever Forest. This forest is actually relatively modern. It was planted in the early 20th century as part of efforts to stabilise the land and create managed woodland. Before this, it would have been open moorland, and even though it looks natural, there are still traces of much older hidden history hidden in here. Prehistoric settlements, burial sites and ancient field systems just beyond the trees. It's also a bit of a threshold space on Dartmoor. Once you leave the forest, you're properly out onto the moor. This is Bellever Tor, one of the first real viewpoints on the route. From up here you can see the transit between forest, valley and open moorland all in one view. But what's really interesting is that this whole area has been occupied for thousands of years. About 4,000 years ago, during the Bronze Age, this would have been part of a busy farming landscape. There were small settlements nearby with stone huts, field boundaries and burial cairns scattered across the hills. Archaeologists have found evidence of domestic life here, things like hearths, tools and pottery fragments, showing that people weren't just passing through this landscape, they were living in it. And yet today, it just feels incredibly quiet. Just wind, open sky and granite. Hey cows. That one's just staring at me. Hope these landscape shots actually pick up on the camera. I keep having to remind myself to stop and take like a flat, non-shaky shot. As I'm walking around, my hand's shaking so much, I bet. Like, I haven't watched any shot, but all this is just bounce, 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 bounce. I also bet my hairline looks awful. Now going through Dartmoor Forest, I believe. I haven't checked the map for a while, so I could be wrong, but I'm fairly sure we're in Dartmoor Forest. Really hope the camera picks up the colours in here, because this is incredible.
forest, back up on the moorland, and we're just going to make our way over to Riddon Ridge, which is where we're going to try and camp for the night.
Now I'm heading on to Riddon Ridge. This is where the landscape really opens up. It looks wild and empty today, but this ridge is actually part of one of the best preserved Bronze Age landscapes on Dartmoor. You can still see traces of ancient field systems here, low stone banks and cairns that once marked boundaries between small farming plots. People would have been working this land, herding animals and burying their dead in stone cairns scattered across the ridge.
So it turns out it's pretty windy up here. There's no massively sort of clear spots with any sort of shelter to camp on. Well, I don't mind being in the wind, you know, I don't particularly want to be in it all night, so I'm going to keep going around my proposed route and see if there is anything a bit further down the road. If I can't find anything, then, well, I don't know what I might do if I end up getting back to the car, drive to a different spot that I know near Hayter, which is a lovely little place to camp, so I might just go and stay there. This has been a lovely walk anyway. Kind of hope I find something, otherwise I've dragged this heavy bag on my back for absolutely no reason at all. Hey ho. Hopefully we'll find something in a little bit. Alright, so turns out couldn't really find anywhere up on Riddon Ridge that I fancied camping on. It was really open and very, very windy up there. But the only sort of flat spaces were all basically the path. And I don't really want to camp on a path. Plus you're not meant to, so I guess we're doing our whole loop in just the one day. And we'll drive somewhere else and go camp. So yeah, I've carried my bag for nothing. But I guess good strength training, if nothing else. Ugh. So, after a rather gruesome hill, we are back in Bellever Forest, just walking back down towards Postbridge and the car. Yeah, not quite how I thought today was going to go. Never mind. I'd love to camp in Bellever Forest, but not allowed. And whilst I reckon I could get away with it, I am an upstanding member of the community and will therefore not break the rules. Very tempting though. Alrighty, so we've reached our destination for the evening. As I said earlier, today didn't really go the way I had planned, but whatever, it's fine. I couldn't find a camping spot on Riddon Ridge that I really liked, so I just did my whole loop, got back to the car in Postbridge, and then drove about half an hour towards Hayter. And I've come to a little spot that I've camped on a number of times before with a mate of mine that I really like. It's not the flattest and it's now really grown up with all of the bracken and stuff, but it is really nice here. It's a bit more sheltered and I know I'm good here, so yeah, here we are. We're all set up, as you can see. We're using my one Tigris Stella 4-season tent, which is one that I bought relatively recently. I really like it, I have to say. It's a really, really nice tent. Really like the colours of it. It's not the most expensive thing in the world. It's not, you know, the cost of an MSR tent or something like that. You know, and you can tell with the quality build and that kind of stuff, but it does the job. I like that it's a big dome, so I can sit up in it, which my previous tent I had a Van Gogh, which is great in the wind, but I couldn't sit up in it inside, and that just sort of bothered me. So I got this, which I really like. Yeah. Other things I've got, just in case you're interested, I've got my Barker Rocks Cloudlight Pro sleeping pad. which is, I think they're actually a relatively new brand on the market. I saw them advertised on some sort of social media that I was on, and I've wanted a new sleeping pad for a while, so considering it's not the most expensive thing in the world, I thought I'd give it a go, and so far I really like it. Works really well, it stays inflated, and it's quite high at the sides, which stops me kind of rolling off it in the night, which is really good, which I really enjoy. What else have I got in here? I'm using my just a Euro hike sleeping bag. That's like a 3-season bag. It's not going to get cold tonight, but you know, it's one of the ones I've got that packs down a bit smaller. And I've also got a Sea to Summit inflatable pillow, and what is this? An Eros Premium Regular. Yeah. I've had the worst luck with inflatable pillows. I've bought a number of them off the internet, off things like Amazon and stuff, which are not massively expensive. Based on a recommendation that a mate of mine had, he bought one, and his has been absolutely fine. I bought one, the exact same one, and it arrived. I think I took it on one trip. I took it back and it was full of holes and punctures everywhere. It was just really badly made, which annoyed me. I bought another one from Trekology, I think they're called, which is the same company that had made my previous sleeping pad. And again, that seemed good. And then after one trip, flipping thing burst, and it completely deflated on my next trip out because I didn't realise before I went. So I've had the worst luck with inflatable pillows. This is the second outing for the Sea to Summit pillow. So far, seems fairly sturdy. So hopefully it stays inflated, and I've finally got a decent pillow that I can use for a long period of time. But yeah, there we go. So, plan of action is now pretty much just to, well, do nothing. I've got a book that I'm going to read. It's still quite early. I think it's round about sort of 6:30, something like that. So yeah, just going to sit and read a book. Might even have a beer. Yeah, I'll cook up some food later on. I've got a fire pot meal for my dinner tonight, a chicken keema curry, which I'm very much looking forward to because they are pretty good. And yeah, that's kind of it. So I'm just going to relax and enjoy my night out here by myself. Yeah. Catch up with you in a little bit. Good morning. I slept pretty well. It was pretty windy overnight in my little spot, so the tent was moving about quite a lot, so I kept waking up. So I was more sort of dozing, I think, than actually sleeping. But yeah, but I had a good night. It was nice and comfy. Back doesn't seem to hurt this morning, which is a rarity and very nice. So yeah, there you go. What's the time? It's about 6:30. I've probably been awake for hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, just sort of relaxing, waiting for the sun to come up, which it now is, which is lovely. When I woke up, the ground outside was absolutely soaking wet, so I don't know if it rained. If it did, I didn't hear it. It might just be, you know, morning dew and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, so there's not a lot to do now. Just going to remain lying down for a bit, relax, and then, you know, in an hour or so I might pack up.
Alrighty, so we're all packed up, left no trace. Don't know if you can hear me because it's windy. But thank you very much for watching, guys. My next video is probably going to be my trip to Scotland with Andy. There's no way you can hear this. But yeah, thanks very much.